For any Xbox or PlayStation codes or cheap games on any platform, use the referral link in the description. It'll take you to g2a.com. Use the promo code CHES over there and you'll get yourself 3% cash back. For all No Identity merchandise, hats, hoodies and t-shirts, follow the link in the description down below to the No Identity Fan Fibre website. Hey guys, welcome to episode 3 of the Southampton career mode here on FIFA 18. Thank you for your hundreds of comments on episodes 1 and 2. There was over 650 to 700 per video. As such, I haven't been able to put everyone that you suggested on the shortlist, but I've put my favourites and a couple that I'm unsure about on the shortlist as well. We do still, as I've mentioned previously, we're concentrating on goalkeeper, wide midfielder and wide defender roles. There are a couple of central midfielders on this shortlist, but as previously mentioned, we have a number of central midfielders already at the club, and we do still have Jordi Clasie out on loan. And as someone or a couple of people mentioned in the comment section, I could always recall him. He's still decently rated and relatively young, so I could always recall him rather than buying someone else in. But I've added a couple of names onto the shortlist perhaps for future reference so that I don't forget them when it comes to either January or season 2 or 3, etc. But we are looking at goalkeeper, and like I say, I've got a number of names on this list. Some I know nothing about, some are more recognisable names, as you can see from Jack Butland. But Paul Lopez is on the shortlist. I know nothing about this guy, but he comes recommended by a number of you. So scouts are out looking at all of the players that have question marks with regards to their overall. It's going to take a few days for those scout reports to come back. So a couple of players I can act upon now. A couple of players we will act upon in due course. Johan Cardinal, or Cardinale, or Cardinale. Don't know how to pronounce his name. Also, he's only 5'11". So I am slightly apprehensive about signing a goalkeeper that's only 5'11", but I'll scout him and see what his stats look like before I make any definitive judgment. Jack Butland is obviously a go-to goalkeeper for an English team. If you want to sign an English player, there aren't many better. You would have said maybe you go for Jordan Pickford, but he's of course just moved to Everton, so he's unavailable. Jack Butland would be relatively cheap, and as someone who stands at 6'5" and is already about 82, 83 rated, is he? I'm not sure actually off the top of my head. We'll wait and see what the scout report comes back as. But obviously he'd be a good player and preferable to either Alex McCarthy or Fraser Forster. And obviously we could sell one of those goalkeepers on to bring Jack Butland or Cardinal or Paul Lopez or perhaps even someone else that you guys suggest in the comment section in as well. With regards to right back, I've got Joe Gomez on the shortlist. Been reliably informed by my friend CJ, who's a big Southampton fan, that actually Jeremy Pié is very, very good in-game. And I was impressed with him, actually, in the game that he played in the group stage of pre-season. So I might not desperately need a right-back. Jeremy Pié might be able to fill the rotation role well enough. But I will have a look at Joe Gomez, if anything, because he can play anywhere across the back line, as you can see from the screen there. Right-back, centre-back or left-back. We are definitely looking for centre-backs, so we've got Jesus Viejo, who's currently on a release clause of 31.5 at Real Madrid. Obviously, I don't want to pay that for a player so young and presumably not quite as talented as perhaps someone like Chris Smalling, valued at 15 million. Wages would be an issue for Smalling, but to bring an English player in would be preferable, maybe, perhaps. But I'd be open to Viejo, or even perhaps Lucas Hernandez. He too has got a release clause. Of course, everybody in La Liga has to have a release clause. I don't know whether that's actually a thing in FIFA. It definitely is in Football Manager, but in real life, let me just check actually. Yeah, Paul Lopez has a release clause as well. In real life, and I presume in FIFA as well, everybody in La Liga has to have a release clause in their contract as part of the ruling from the league. We have Germain Conti, a centre-back currently playing in Argentina. I know nothing about him, but was mentioned a couple of times, so we will scout him and see what they say about that. With regards to left back, I know nothing about Aaron Martin, and clearly the La Liga release clause rule isn't a thing because he doesn't have a release clause at Espanyol. So I want to see what his stats look like. Kieran Tierney is a player that I know can grow quite well. I haven't got Ryan Sessegnon on the shortlist, but I would contemplate adding him to it. But I think, if you think back, Fraser Forster, Virgil van Dijk and Victor Wanyama were all signed to Southampton from Celtic. So perhaps it would be more true to real life to sign someone from Celtic. I do have another Celtic player on the shortlist. I will, though, try and avoid selling players to Liverpool, but we'll have to wait and see how things go. But yeah, Kieran Tierney, I want to scout him to see what his stats look like, but he could grow well. I know nothing about Aaron Martin. He seems to be a lot smaller. I know Kieran Tierney's about 6 foot, actually. But Dendoncker is a CDM, obviously, complete centre-back as well. Like I mentioned, I'm not actively looking for central midfielders right now. We'll have to wait and see what happens. And actually, with regards to Stephen Davis, a number of you were saying keep him, if only because he's become a bit of a club legend at Southampton. So the fact that he played quite well in the game, actually, in pre-season in the group stage, helps with me deciding to keep him. But it looks like Stephen Davis is going to stay. Not sure, very much not sure what to do with the striking situation. Out wide, also have Van der Beek on the shortlist as well with regards to centre mid, but mainly because I was just intrigued. I know nothing about him. The main player that you guys most certainly want me to sign in your hundreds is Quincy Promes. Apparently was heavily linked in the January window just gone. I didn't know that, but can play either side midfield, but primarily at striker as well. And you guys seemingly would want me to use him at striker. So Quincy Promes is a player I am definitely going to try and buy. 100% hopefully will buy. And then we can use him at striker and sign a couple of youngsters out wide. I'm looking at Kai Havertz out at Bayer Leverkusen. I know he can grow well, but I don't know what his starting stats are like. Leon Bailey, I know, is another player with good prospects at Bayer Leverkusen. Lo Celso is someone, again, another player I know nothing about but was just curious about. Federico Chiesa, I know, grows really well on FM because I've got him at Bayern Munich in my off-stream save. He's had a loan offer accepted from Sporting Girona, though. So I'm not sure whether to go in for him or not. Perhaps could be someone we would wait and sign in a future season. See how he grows maybe out on loan before committing to a buy. Because I don't think by the time I get the scout report back, he probably will have already accepted that loan bid. Or rejected it. He might well reject it. We'll have to wait and see, I guess. David Neres, I presume David because he's Brazilian. David Neres is a youngster that was heavily linked with a move away from Ajax in the January window in real life. It says he's recently joined the club and won't move again. So I won't be able to sign him now. But he's someone that definitely goes on the shortlist. Similarly with Malcolm, another player that definitely goes on the shortlist. I want to see what his stats look like, but obviously he's going to be a bit of a favourite in the comment section. And like I mentioned, another player from Celtic we could consider buying, Moussa Dembele, striker. Although it depends on what happens with Quincy Promes. If I can get Promes, I'll sign him and he'll be my main striker. I might still consider signing Moussa Dembele as a backup striker and moving on a number of the other players I have at the club. But as I mentioned in episode 1, I don't want to do loads of signings in season 1 or loads of signings every single window. I'd rather kind of stagger things out so that we have something to aim for each window rather than filling every available slot in season 1 and then getting to season 2 and being like, now what? I like to always have at least somewhere where I can improve upon window by window. So we'll just play it by ear. Justin Kluivert is obviously a player that can grow very well. Been in the public eye recently with some very good performances for Ajax in real life. Low release clause as well. And might even be worth that release clause with regards how good he can grow to. We'll have to wait and see. And Richarlison is a player that I'm keen to try out on FIFA. But he has, of course, recently joined Watford and won't move again. But someone I wanted to put on the shortlist to remind me to perhaps look at him in a future window. So we'll play that one by ear. We'll have to wait and see. But one thing for certain right now is that I'm going to try and sign Quincy Promes. So I'm going to try and do that. Drop the video a like if you're enjoying. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell to ensure you don't miss out on a future video. And let's see if we can bring in Quincy Promes. Now, do I try a player swap? I don't want to get rid of either of those. Strikers, I have a number I would be willing to let go. I've been reliably informed that Obafemi and Olamola grow well, but I don't know. I want to get them out on loan. I want to sell Carrillo. Will they be open to him? They're looking for a left winger. I don't really have anyone I can... Yeah, I'm not willing to let any of those guys go, annoyingly. So let's just offer a transfer fee. I do have 45 million available to me, but I'd rather not spend it all on Quincy Promes, but they clearly value him very highly. Let's propose a new transfer fee of 30, and I'll add a sell-on fee in there as well. Not that a sell-on clause would really affect anything from my point of view, but it might be... No, they don't want a sell-on fee. Okay, it might make them more inclined to accept. Evidently, it doesn't. 35 million? I am going up in big increments here, from 30 to 35. Go on, accept it. Time to think about it. That means we're going to say no. We're just going to long it out. Dickheads. Right, okay, well, let's go and play Guimaraes in the pre-season tournament. There is still some transfer money to be won here in this pre-season tournament, so I will try and do that to improve my chances of improving the financial outlook of the side. We do have a number of players we're looking to sell on. Yeah, probably best to play in that kit, isn't it? Okay, right. Game number 1 of the episode. Maybe Stephen Davis and Charlie Austin can link up again and perform well like they did in the previous game. We'll just have to wait and see. Nice ball into Rincon. Through to Oliveira. Trying to slow him up. He's got options here. Hasn't used any of them yet. Yes. Celis and the effort wide of the target. Alex McCarthy just watching it drift past the post. I've decided to start McCarthy ahead of Fraser Forster. I'm still not sure what to do with the goalkeeping role. I think I do want to sign a new goalkeeper, but I don't know which goalkeeper to get rid of. I know a couple of people would be keen to see me sell Fraser Forster, but because of his size, in real life he does make a handful of mistakes. Oh, it was terrible. In real life he does make a handful of mistakes, but on FIFA he might be more beneficial. But I guess if I'm going to sign someone like Jack Butland, perhaps, who's a little bit taller, then I would already have the big guy, and I might not need Fraser Forster. Oh, there's just so many decisions to be made when there's a team like this that clearly needs a lot of improving in a number of different areas. And to be fair, financial decisions might come into it as well. I might not be able to afford someone like Jack Butland. I might have to go for someone younger, slightly less talented, just to be able to bring in the right player for the right role, especially if Quincy Promes is going to take the majority of my opening budget. There's a lot to be thought about here in this opening window, and there's a lot to be done. But I need to maximise my financial clout by winning this pre-season tournament. But so far, it's been pretty even. Buffel. Here's Stephen Davis. To James Ward-Prowse. Go through that gap there to Davis again. There's Charlie Austin. And through that gap we can find Sofiane Buffalo turn back inside and look to bend it. That is a particularly poor effort from Sofiane Buffel, and I'm not sure whether he's right or left-footed. He's got 4-star weak foot and is right-footed. 72 finishing apparently. Right. That was more like 27 than 72 though, wasn't it? Fina. Good tackle, but it bounces back to him, and he's found Wacasso here. He's pushed forward. Lays it back. Who's going to get there? It's the Guimaraes man. It's a good save down low by Alex McCarthy to keep the clean sheet intact. Rafina with the corner. Whip towards the near post. That was just kind of hit him, I think, rather than a genuine effort on goal, thankfully. Bertram get this round the corner to Wesley. Hooked forward to Sofiane Buffal. And then Charlie Austin's made a good run. Now, can he hold off the defender? He can't even get the ball under control, let alone hold off the defender. I may have balls that up. I did balls that up. Well done, Tez. That's, again, my inability to learn how to defend on any version of FIFA for the past 20 years. And I'm 1-0 down. Good header by Ward-Prowse. Stephen Davis picks up the loose ball, and here's Buffal pushing forward. A look for Charlie Austin. Good look for Stephen Davis, but it's very well intercepted by Pedro Enrique. The linking up of Stephen Davis and Charlie Austin very nearly working again. It did so to great effect in the last episode. Charlie Austin, to look for Buffal, but he's won the ball back there, Charlie Austin, and I'll just knock this sideways. We'll look to hit it first time. He's put it well over the bar. Trying to close him down here with James Ward-Prowse. He's been dragged a long way out of position. Cedric, too, can't get anywhere near him, but Maya Yoshida does well to get that away. Buffal forward into Stephen Davis there, just trying to twist and keep possession. I'll be honest, I am having trouble with this Southampton side in its current state to have much impact in front of goal. But that is what you guys are wanting from a series. Me to actually not just score 5 goals a game. So this is probably good news for the remainder of the series. Stephen Davis this time driving towards the near post, and that's probably the best chance of the game I've had to this point. Sillies get the ball through, but Cedric just quick enough. That ball that went back to... Oh, a ball that went back to Cedric was meant to go to Nathan Redmond. And because I've pressed pass so quickly after receiving the ball, the game has gone... He wanted to play a 1-2 there. No! When I'm holding the stick up the pitch, I just want to play it up the pitch, regardless of how quickly I've pressed the pass button. In there, and that's supposed to go up here to number 22. I'm 2-0 down. That's not my fault. Cedric into James Ward-Prowse. There's Lamina. Stephen Davis makes a good move. I get back to Lamina maybe. Then into Charlie Austin. How's his turn? Decent. Charlie Austin hits the post. I was certain I was going to score there. That was a really good move that ends with a decent opportunity. A clear-cut opportunity, to be fair. A very clear-cut opportunity that Charlie Austin has hit the woodwork with. Should have scored there. Most certainly should have scored. But he did well to get the opportunity in the first place, so I can't be overly critical. Like, his hold-up play is very good, Charlie Austin, but you want that finish in front of goal to add to that brilliant hold-up play. And he doesn't have it. Cedric with the throw. Redmond back to Oriol Romeu. James Ward-Prowse. Flick it on there to Shane Long, who could spin. Hasn't done it well enough. Not been good enough here in this game. Not even close to being good enough. The challenge at Southampton might be greater than first thought. Ward-Prowse looking for Shane Long. He'll run off me, and we could get in the box here. And Ward-Prowse pulls us one back. I think, considering how well Oriol Romeu has done since coming on at CDM, I think James Ward-Prowse at Cam could be a very good decision. I like that. That very much pleases me, the way that he's adapted to that cam role very well. And Romeu's been rock solid. You won't have seen many highlights, I don't think, of him putting challenges in because my offensive play's been pretty poor. But, case in point, Oriol Romeu is a brilliant holding midfielder. Unfortunately, James Ward-Prowse outmuscled there by Celis, but Romeu's changed the game for me defensively since coming on. And Ward-Prowse brings me back into the game. I just need one more to force penalties, or two more to get the win. But I am going to need to score at least once more if I want to get through to the final. Ward-Prowse scoops that over there to Bertrand. Down the line into Buffal. James Ward-Prowse involved again at Cam. I've brought on Manolo Gabbiadini and moved Shane Long out wide. Because at present I don't have a wide player to bring on off the bench. Josh Sims just quite simply isn't good enough. But Shane Long could, in that wide position, draw us back level. But no. Or at least set up a chance to draw us back level. I have 7 minutes to score a goal. Maybe less than that to score 2 if they score on this attack, which hopefully they won't do. Oriol Romeu being drawn out of CDM, but here's Welthon. Oh, beautifully round the corner. It is less than 7 minutes to score 2. This is going to be a real challenge at Southampton. I did struggle pre-season with Roma and bounced back once I got to grips with the team, but I did have a real quality of player already at the team, or in the team at Roma. I don't have that here at Southampton. This might well be a particularly difficult first season. James Ward-Prowse to bend this, but got the turn in, but then couldn't get the shot away. This could be a difficult year. Unless we can make the right signings, this is going to be a difficult season at Southampton. Although this is, of course, only pre-season, and teams do tend to play differently once you reach the actual competitive season. So we will hold off and reserve judgment until we've played the opening 2 or 3 games of the Premier League. And that's a decent header there, unfortunately, for Wesley Hurt. That's well saved by the keeper. Punted forward, and Bertrand should win that and hasn't. That will bounce all the way through to the keeper. Waste precious seconds. Well, I'm not going to be scoring 2 goals now, am I? Bowl the ball out, and I'm expecting the final whistle to go very, very shortly. Play it through that gap, and Manolo Gabbiadini could play James Ward-Prowse around the corner, and he could score us another here, but he's not very fast. Turning side well. Look for Manolo Gabbiadini. We have been able to pull one back, but unfortunately, I've already conceded that third. So despite actually getting the second that we've been looking for a while, I'm still going to go out. Which is frustrating. Very frustrating. The final whistle will go now, I would presume, and indeed it does. The question is, how much money have we actually been able to raise by just appearing in the semi-final? I'm going to go and find out. Surprisingly, Leganés beat Borussia Mönchengladbach as well. So, heading into the round of the semis, you would have expected Southampton and Mönchengladbach to meet in the final. As it happens, neither of us are going to make the final. So, at least it wasn't just my semi that went against the run of expectation. We got an extra 2.6 million, which is enough. Jeremy Pierre apparently is disappointed not to start, and it is unfortunate that we didn't reach the final. But never mind, such is life. And I'm going to wait. I'm going to have to wait and see what happens with Quincy Promes. But at the minute, we have 3 weeks? 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks till the Swansea game, and we'll advance as far as that if needs be. And now they want a sell-on clause. You didn't want that before. Stop toying with me. Just stop it. I'll edit the sell-on clause and make that massive because I don't care. I want to get him in, and if that means I can get him cheaper, then I will do. I offered them 35 before, didn't I? I offered them 37 with 25%. Okay, well, I've got a cutscene, but it hasn't come up with the... Oh, well, they're shaking hands. Okay, good. It didn't come up with the text at the bottom, so I was like, which cutscene is it? Right. Negotiate. Quincy Promes looks like he's going to be the first signing to join us here at Southampton. You want a crucial squad role? Yes. By a long way. The best. Only a 3-year contract. That's interesting. But I'm going to disregard a release clause. He's on 67k and he wants 90. I will counter. And I will... 15 appearances, signing bonus. I'm going to edit the wage. I'll offer him 70. The rest I'm quite happy with. 82. Because we are going to want to make numerous signings, but I guess I do have a number of players to sell on. 75. Go on, sign that, and then everyone's happy. 82. All right, fine. You can have 82. Right. Well, Quincy Promes is in. We have not only our first signing, but by a margin, our best player at the club. Quincy Promes is by far the highest rated player at the club. 3 more than... Actually, let me just do this the right way. Yeah, I'll start him ahead of Charlie Austin. You guys seemingly wanted me to play him at striker. He's at 83 finishing. And to be fair, I think striker is where he's going to be best utilised right now. But I am really going to need to sign some wide players sooner rather than later, I think. Oral Romeu. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put James Ward-Prowse at cam. That's I think going to be a definitive change that we make to the side. Still got Dusan Tadic that I could bring on off the bench, but I think it's probably going to be the best way to do things. Now I'm initially, because considering I do have backups at wing back, at least not necessarily good enough backups, but I do have backups. I really want a wide midfielder now. That's desperate for a wide midfielder, if not 2. Actually, 2. But I don't have much money available to me as things stand, so I am going to need to sell to buy, which is a similar situation to what we have at Roma currently as well. Do make sure you check today's earlier episode of that series too. Surprising transfer stuff going down in that save right now. A loan offer for Jack Stevens. He's got a release clause of 5 million. I might have to renegotiate his contract actually because I don't want to lose Jack Stevens. Been reliably informed that he's actually pretty decent and can grow quite well. Jack Butland's 81 rated. Would be an improvement on what we've got, significantly so. I don't have the money at the minute, and centre back is not a position that I'm desperate for at this stage. What I need is a wide midfielder. I'm desperate for a wide midfielder. Stoke City have signed Fred. That's intriguing, considering, of course, how well we know Fred plays. Federico Chiesa, he's gone on loan. Okay, that loan deal has gone through, but he does look decent, actually, for 19 years of age. I will most certainly keep him on the shortlist. Richarlison is a player, again, we can't sign at present. Maybe, can I loan him? I might be able to. I doubt I can, actually, with it being FIFA. Joe Gomez looks all right. 6'2" is good. I like the fact that he's tall and can play anywhere across the back line. 73 rated isn't the best, but he's an option. Dendonka we know is going to be decent, 78 rated. and very good. But again, not looking for a central midfielder right now. Neres is a player we can't sign currently because he's only just moved to Ajax, but he does look like he's going to grow really well. So I will definitely keep an eye on him as well. Donny van der Beek. I don't know anything about him. 6 foot is good. Physicals are okay. High stamina, which is nice. Could grow there. Technicals are all right. 78 short passing, 79 ball control. 80 long shots actually intrigues me. You guys know how much I love a long shot. Could be a decent player in the future. Justin Kluivert is actually a player I'm quite keen on. Fast, good on the ball. Valued at 9.5 million. But wages are very, very small. I might try and sign Justin Kluivert now. And Leon Bailey is another player that I'm very much intrigued by. Who's very good at 19 years of age and expensive. So I might have to lean away from Leon Bailey. I can't afford him. But Justin Kluivert is a player that I could go for right here, right now. And maybe try and snap up. We'll scroll down to the bottom. I really want to find out about Kieran Tierney as well. He's valued at 9 million. I want to see his stats. Where are you? Justin Kluivert, £9.5 million. Actually, I want to see if I could loan Richarlison. Well, let me buy him. Oh, no. It will let me attempt to buy him, but then it says he's just moved club. Can I loan? I can't loan either. Okay, fine. Well, Justin Kluivert, we will attempt to buy then. Right, let's see what we can do with Ajax. He's on 9.5. If I could play a swap, that'd be superb. What to do? Anyone I'd be willing to let go? I'm thinking fullback wise. Anyone I'd be willing to let go? At this stage, centre backs. Gardos maybe? They're looking to bring in a left winger. I'm not willing to let anyone go right now, so I'll offer a transfer fee and I will offer just 9 million and see what they say. Obviously he's valued at 15. 11.4 I could afford. I'll edit the sell-on clause, make that higher. Because obviously someone like Justin Kluivert I'm not going to be selling on. I'll offer 10. Because wages won't be an issue whatsoever. They should accept that. Good. Right, let's go and offer him a contract then. Scrolling down. Where are you, Justin? There you are. Negotiate. He's on, what did I say? 4? 7? 7. He's on 7-3. Squad role, I'm going to say rotation for now. But obviously, if he grows well, then he'll probably start ahead of Buffal on the left. I'm going to say 4 years. They don't seem to have a preference, and that should be fine. Release clause, they don't want a release clause. I'm completely fine with that, except the fact that they don't want a release clause. Right, money. Okay, they're going to wait for me to offer him a wage. Well, how's 10 grand a week and a signing on bonus of nothing because I can't afford it? Sure. Fine. Alright, Justin Kluivert's in. We've made 2 signings today. Quincy Promes has come in and will start up top. And to start off with, we are going to bring on... Actually, I'll take Stephen Davis off. I'd rather prioritise the younger players, but Stephen Davis will obviously still play a big part in our season. But Pierre-Emile Højbjerg obviously is going to be the youngster I have on the bench. And then let's do that. So we have Justin Kluivert now on the bench. Can play on either side. 4-star weak foot, 4-star skills. I'm very, very intrigued to see how well he gets on. I'm very pleased with that. I think they're 2 very good deals for us. Now, again, I'm going to have to sell to be able to buy. So we will advance a little bit further and see if we can sell anyone else. Had a loan offer in for Callum Slattery that I will be accepting. Now I've had another loan offer coming for Jack Stevens that I've rejected in the meantime. And I think all now the scout reports are back. If it's not all, then it's almost all. Paul Lopez actually looks very good for 22 years of age, 81 rated. And if I can switch to attributes, we can directly compare him to Jack Butland. So Butland is 82, 80, 72, 85, 80. 80, 81, 78, 80, 82. So there's not too much difference between the 2 of them. Butland's slightly older, obviously English and taller. 3 inches taller and has the addition of the trait. Cardinal, I'm just going to remove him. He's not going to... That's the wrong button, Chase. He's not going to be good enough. But with regards to goalkeeper, I'd be happy with either of them. Butland, I think, just edges it at the minute. I think if Butland's kicking was higher, his overall would be higher. But price-wise, they're pretty similar. But Butland, I'd have to pay more because he's a current Premier League player, and obviously they wouldn't want to lose a player to a rival. So goalkeeper is still up for question. Joe Gomez looks... That's the wrong thing. Joe Gomez looks decent. Good physicals. Decent technicals. Obviously I can train those. And at 6'2", intrigues me. But there are better options. Lucas Hernandez and Jesus Vallejo have actually Schalke have had an offer rejected for Vallejo. I don't know what that offer was. £12 million. So Lucas Hernandez is slightly cheaper. I'm torn with these two because Lucas Hernandez has better stats, but I'm really torn. I'm really torn. They are very, very similar. I don't know. Chris Smalling obviously is a better player, and valuation-wise is about the same. But wages, man, wages. Conte actually looks pretty decent. I am very intrigued by him. He's slightly older at 23, but he does look very good. I was particularly surprised by that. 6'4" as well. I was surprised by that. We have 4 good options here for centre-back. We'll just have to wait and see how finances develop throughout the window as to who we go for. Left-back-wise, Aaron Martin, I'm not overly keen on. I can't say as I like the look of him, so I am going to remove him from the shortlist. But Kieran Tierney does look very good. Kieran Tierney does look very good. Complete centre-back as well, apparently. What's his jumping, actually, out of curiosity? Jumping is 66, so probably wouldn't play him at centre-back. But, and at 5'10" as well. But a good option by the looks of things. A very good option. With regards to the wide midfielder role, Leon Bailey, as we saw, very high-rated and very expensive. Kai Havertz looks okay. There's room there for growth. He's 75 overall, but 69 sprint speed doesn't fill me with optimism, to be completely honest. Turn out to be decent technically, but physically doesn't look like he's going to have it. 4-star skill moves is good. 6'1" is good, but out wide I'm going to need pace. I'll leave him on the shortlist, but I'm not sure. Malcolm looks great. He's also £30 million, so that's a definite no. I'm going to remove Moussa Dembele now. Or do I? Because I could use Quincy Promes out wide. 78 acceleration, 82 sprint speed, finishing of 77. I'll need your feedback there. Do I move Quincy Promes out wide and sign Moussa Dembele as a striker? Or do I sign another youngster out wide and leave Quincy Promes as a striker? I'm going to need your feedback. Wing-back wise, I think I'm going to go for Kieran Tierney, sorry. But at present, money's a little bit hard to come by. So in the meantime, I'm going to have to make some sales. And on the transfer list, we still have a number of players, as you can see. And hopefully, transfers will come in for them. Specifically, Gardos, who's got a release clause of 7.6. If I could get all 7.6, that'd be superb. Stephen Davis is transfer listed. I'll remove him now, as you guys seemed keen on him staying. But I would, I'd consider an offer that comes in for anyone, providing that the price is right, other than players like James Ward-Prowse. U-Squad monthly report. Scout has returned. So, good. A centre-back. That's good news. Our Scout future star is a centre-back. I'm going to immediately promote him to the senior team. Oh, he's rejected the loan move. That's actually great. 60 rated. Okay physicals already. That's good, just technically terrible, but we can train his technical stats. 4-star weak foot, can play at CDM as well. Low work rates is slightly frustrating. If he was low-high, that'd be great. No traits or specialities to speak of. 80 aggression too, which is very high for someone of his age. That could be decent, you know. He could really prove to be a good player. I do have other centre-back options, but I am looking to sell them on, obviously. I'm very pleased with Promes and with Justin Kluivert. Now, I don't know where to prioritise next. Do I sign a goalkeeper? Or do I sign a wing-back? I'm feeling left-back, I'll be honest, because we have Bertrand, but other than that, I'm left kind of high and dry. I mean, McQueen is alright, but nothing special. Whereas PA is decent to come in at right back for Cedric. I think left back needs improving first over right back, and then I could genuinely do with another wide midfielder as well. But I think we could go. I think we'll go left back, goalkeeper, wide midfielder in that order. But financing those moves is going to be an issue. But I said I don't want to sign loads of players in season 1. I said maybe one marquee signing per season and then a couple of other additional signings. So we got the marquee signing in Quincy Promes. Transfer for Jeremy Pied, which I will turn down. We've got the marquee signing in Quincy Promes, and we've got one subsequent signing as well in the form of Justin Kluivert. So I've got 5 million available to me now with that adjusting of the budget, but it's still not quite enough. Still not quite enough. If I can get Gardos out the door, let me just try to end the video. Let me just try and sign Kieran Tierney and see what they're interested in. I'll approach Dubai. We couldn't afford the release clause, and the club isn't willing to let him go. Right, okay. That says to me, raise £18 million. That doesn't say give up. That says raise 18 million. What's he on wage-wise? 29.5. So I have 5. Let me go back in. I have 5. I can raise. Right. I'm gonna need you guys to help me out here. Fraser Fawcett, what's he valued at? 5.5 for 4.8. I could afford to let Fraser Forster go, keep the youngster for the time being, and sign the left back. Maybe. There are so many different things going through my mind right now, and I'm not sure where I'm going to find the money from. I may be pushed to sell No, because you guys don't want me to sell Stephen Davis. I'm torn because I want Kieran Tierney, but I'm not going to be able to raise the money to get Kieran Tierney. So do I try and sign someone else in the meantime? I'm just going to add Charlie Austin to the transfer list. That will raise some money. And to be fair, I was led to believe in the comment section that Gabbiadini was looking for a move away from Southampton due to a lack of performances. So I could maybe look to sell him as well. Keep Shane Long because he's a little bit quicker. And as much as I hate to say it, pace does dictate sometimes. Marco Asensio's just signed for Chelsea actually for £68.9 million. So Willian's been replaced, although he's pricey. Right, that's where we'll end it for today. Apologies that I've waffled on again a little bit, but there's a lot to be decided upon, and it is going to take... Oh, Sergio Escudero signed for Manchester City at left-back. There's a lot to be decided upon, and it does take quite a significant thought process, and I'm trying to, at the same time as doing stuff in-game, remember what you guys have said in like 1,500 comments over 2 videos. So drop the video a like if you enjoy. Hopefully you're pleased with the 2 signings we've made so far. I am. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to make sure you don't miss out on any more. And let me know what to do. I'll see you next time.